unless, of course, you're the federal government in the U.S. Air Force, and you just want to assign a very large contract for your cloud management. Because the other news that broke this week is that I guess Accenture won a $1.6 billion contract for the U.S. Air Force. And I guess it's technically a task order, so they may not spend it all, I guess is how it works. But and maybe you can explain it, but as I'm understanding it, for cloud management, it's not even cloud services, it's just the management of the cloud. I'm not clear on that, but it just,
Yes,
regardless of what it is, it's just a mind-blowing number.
huge number, right? That the Air Force thinks that that might even be the ceiling of the cloud services that they need. But Accenture's won this 5-year deal to manage just the Air Force's cloud environment, basically taking care of the operations as well as the FinOps, the financial management of the cloud. And there's this $1.6 billion cap on services. It starts with a measly little down payment of $2 million, so practically nothing. But it's amazing to see how the cloud, which was supposed to make things run easily and make you not think about anything, now has these massive additional services that can be attached to them from a consulting perspective. So congratulations to Accenture for getting this contract. First of all, just kudos to you for somehow turning the cloud into a gigantic consulting job. It's great job.
Well, it's funny. It's in fact, we're going to talk about another article in a little while that addresses this fact, but it's like the tried and true method. If you want to sell something in the world of IT, is go sell it as if it's going to eliminate all the management overhead and headaches, and everything goes away. And then the consulting companies will follow up within a year or two and make boatloads of money doing all the consulting that you were sworn you didn't need. We've seen it with every single technology, and it's, I probably said that sort of cynically. I guess I am cynical in that, companies keep making this pitch. Cloud is easy. RPA is easy. Take AI now is easy, right? Just plug it in, turn it on. But the reality is that our environments are insanely complex. The data models, the workflows, the business processes, it's all insanely complex. And so it doesn't ever surprise me that what starts out as simple, once we start to scale it and try to move it at velocity, that we're going to have issues that we have to deal with, and they're going to be big, hairy issues that take a lot of money and resources to solve for. So, I don't know if this is a good deal or not. But well, other than for Accenture, it's clearly a good deal for them. But I think it just is, don't buy the hype, and just always be pragmatic about, how you're looking at it. But was there any other big takeaway from your standpoint on this, other than the fact that, hey, cloud takes some work?
I mean, obviously, the big number, I joke about it, but at the same time, obviously, the Air Force has its own hybrid multi-cloud needs for governance. We obviously do not want to be giving away military secrets to the rest of the world, and that is necessary. But I think it also speaks to how CIOs have to think about managing the cloud more carefully, and that it's not simply as easy as trusting the cloud hyperscaler and leaving it up to them, even for just because they have the right categorized governance and compliance issues. We've talked about this in the past, how you can't always trust governance, and apparently the Air Force agrees as well.
Oh yeah, I think it's always a balancing act, always, right? And I think like I fell into it myself 10 years ago when we were just starting down the whole cloud road, and believing that you never have a data center. And I still largely believe that. I just don't think it makes, it's like, why would I build a power plant? Although we're going to talk about that in a second. Historically, that just, you sort of move past that, where it's no longer economically viable for you to be managing that infrastructure when you can buy it as a service. I think AI workloads and a lot of a lot of the modern technologies have complicated it a little bit, because cloud costs can become so exorbitant that it's this balancing act. I still think you end up more on a colo type model than actually running a physical plant, but it's just this sort of interesting dynamic, and which brings us back to the question, and I think it's becoming a question mark, is, our CIO is going to have to get back into the power business, right? I joked about the fact that, and I came from healthcare, and we actually had a power plant because our needs were so dramatic that we actually had our own. Um, and in the early days of the industrial age, everyone did, and then quickly our infrastructure became such that we didn't need that. But AI is sort of turning that one on its side a little bit,
Mhm.
and it's opening the questions like, do I need to be thinking if I'm a CIO from a strategic perspective about how I deal with power?